A very good morning. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. My name is Fabio and welcome back to another daily market outlook. We're going to kick it off with EURUSD. So EURUSD has now been stalling since Friday pretty much inside of this area of demand. So obviously from here we do expect a potential pullback to come into play back in towards the highs, because if we look at market structure, high, lower high, lower high, or lower low, excuse me, lower high, then again a lower low, and now we expect a new lower high to be formed inside an area of supply, either supply zone number 1 or zone number 2. So when do we expect a push in towards zone number 1 or zone number 2? That is when we see a fractal structure change inside of this area of demand. So we need to see a market structure shift happen inside of this area of demand to indicate that there's actually demand inside of the demand zone. So what I'm looking for now is to see, okay, is this high going to break? Then I will be looking for an entry and longing it in towards supply zone number 1 and supply zone number 2. And as long as that overall fractal high holds, so this high over here, I would expect a further downside push in towards this area of demand. As simple as that. So look for shorts until this high goes, let's call it that way. Then going in towards the 15-minute time frame over here, then obviously we can see that this is currently your protected high. We had a break of structure over here. This is now your supply zone, so maybe look for a short inside of that supply zone, look for a market structure shift, and then look for that short in towards the downside if you want to go short. And then as soon as that high breaks, look for that long. So as simple as that, EURUSD for you. Going in towards the daily real quick, if we want to see, it is looking bearish after a retracement in towards the highs and now looking for that downside follow through. But it wouldn't be strange for us to pull back slightly higher and tap back in towards its overall buy for the sell, which is your overall order flow supply zone. So that's what I'm looking for on EURUSD. Now moving on in towards the dollar index for you. So going in towards the dollar index, obviously the daily looks extremely bullish here. Two very strong bullish candles on the dollar index, and I'm now looking for us to take out this high over here and looking for that upside follow through. So before we see that upside follow through, potentially we could pull back in towards here and then continue up higher. Looking at that on the 4-hour time frame, what you'll see is that we saw a 4-hour break of structure over here after breaking this high, meaning 4 hour is now bullish and aligned with the daily. So what I'm looking for is potentially just a pullback in towards this overall sell for the buy before that upside continuation. For the rest, nothing really interesting on the dollar. Now going onwards in towards AUDUSD over here. AUDUSD is currently situated inside of this area of demand. The 4-hour is still bullish. So from this low in towards this high, we're bullish. We made a retracement in towards the downside. We then reversed in towards the upside, playing ping pong in between supply and demand. Now back inside of this demand zone. Keep in mind we have equal lows which are still open, so we could liquidate those lows potentially. Then looking left, there's no real demand zone, so therefore I wouldn't be surprised if we then move in towards this demand zone over here. Going in towards the actual 15-minute structure over here, then it would have made sense to look for a potential long. Obviously we're inside an area of 4-hour demand. Then on Friday what happened is that we had this low, the low got broken by this high, then we reversed with a V-shaped reversal in towards the highs. This becomes your demand zone over here, and then you can look to take a long on that demand zone with your stop loss below the lows, targeting obviously like a 1, 2, 3. Then if you move your mechanical thing or whatever it's called, the indicator to the right, you see we just missed out and we reached around, what is it, 2.5%, but you might have got stopped out by spreads obviously. Now prices pulled back in towards this demand zone over here, so from here we could potentially start moving back in towards the highs. It is however a little bit risky due to the open lows which we still have over here, so wouldn't be surprised if we do take those out. But for now, if you do want to take a long, just wait for the fractal high to break, then you'll see another new area of demand form over here, and then you'll have much higher confirmation for longs. So then you have demand and then another demand zone formed through that demand, and then you have the confirmation to go for that long. If you already want a long from this demand zone, obviously you can also do that, but that is lower probability for myself, keeping in mind the open lows which we have here on the 4-hour time frame. So at the moment, also 4-hour structure wise, this is your fractal low. As long as the fractal low holds, we should still continue further in towards the highs. If that low goes, then I will be looking for the downside push. So that is Aussie dollar for you. Moving on in towards pound dollar. So pound dollar, it's a little messy. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we are stalling over here to our left inside some already filled demand zones. So obviously if you look at sell before the buy, you can see every single time we just tap and move out, tap and move out. Over here we moved in, out, in, out, in, out. So keep that in mind when looking at pound dollar. But obviously we should be making a pullback sometime soon, preferably in towards, like, for example, this buy before the sell over here. That is pound dollar for you. Looking at the 15, there is still some room for it to move up higher. We still have some areas of fresh supply open where I would like us to pull in towards liquidity forming above this high. So let's see if we can still see an upside push, but I'll just be mainly focusing on euro dollar and Aussie dollar. Going onwards in towards NZDUSD, what are we seeing over here? So NZDUSD on the 4-hour time frame, grab the liquidity below this swing low, then move back in towards the highs, then just continue down lower in line with the overall daily trend. In my opinion, I mean, NZDUSD is looking good to just tank down lower and lower in towards this fresh area of demand. I don't really see any kind of like fresh demand on over here to our left, which is going to cause a full-blown reversal. So keeping that in mind, going in towards the 4-hour then, what I'll be looking for to see is that bearish momentum going to continue, and can we then look for shorts from, for example, this supply zone over here, or even this higher supply zone over here. So that's what I'll be looking for on NZDUSD. For now, this buy for the sell over here is holding, so just follow the overall order flow in towards the downside. Now going in towards our last pair, which is gold. So gold over here actually moved in towards that demand zone, which I pointed out last week on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, we moved in and we moved out again. Highest probability for further upside continuation, for example, back in towards this supply zone, would have been a break of the fractal high over here, because now we can see we're kind of respecting this overall buy before the sell, which is your supply zone. Going in towards the 15, you can see that the overall bearish momentum is still strong. Overall low broken, and then supply is just holding over here, supply again is just holding over here. So we're just following the overall order flow in towards the downside, lower highs and lower lows, but it does kind of like look like a reversal pattern with some potential to move up higher very, very soon, to kind of grab the liquidity, which is resting above this kind of like descending consolidation area in towards this area of fresh supply. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Look for those potential longs on gold. If you see some momentum shift, maybe wait for a double break. For example, you have over here this demand zone, then wait for this high to go, and then you have kind of like double demand created. That is a potential solution. Or if the low breaks, just trade the overall order flow further in towards the downside, in towards some lower levels of price, grabbing, for example, liquidity resting below these equal lows over here. So yeah, speak soon, see you inside Discord, and have a great day. Thanks.